Let me explain something to you. I was noticing something about my kids and thinking about them, when I see them, right? Some of my kids didn't know how to speak to girls. You ever had a child and you say, yo, listen, whatever you do, don't use your mother to get no pussy. If you're in danger, you treat your mother happy, you treat your mother wonderful, you treat her with the most happiest honor or privilege in the physical reality. So when she speaks to you about or the feminine habitation, or the way she thinks about you because of her existence and of your atmosphere, you can be commended already when it comes to your social economics and your habitation of your social gathering and when it comes to your atmosphere. But if you over here try to use your mother to get sex and manipulate the physical reality, not only are you hurting and causing the end of the beginning of your love, of your consciousness, and fucking up the purity of your existence, because it's a form of, it's like a physics level of immaculate conception way of reality. But if you fuck up the reality of the physics form of the immaculate conception of the reason of your existence, and you try to use your mother, my wife, and somebody, I'm the only one that probably could do that because she wants me to soothe her habitation. But if my child does it, if one of my sons or my daughters do it, it'll be finished in a physical reality because it's like taking advantage of your consciousness ahead of time and then you be fucking up the reasons of your existence because you wouldn't want somebody doing it to you. So at a level, you don't know who was before you a certain type of way at a time. You should have did it to yourself. So you got to think about that point of view even when one is viewing their conscience in the year of reflection. This 2019 let's speak to girls because it's just like if you're in danger, your mother's gonna be there for you. She's gonna guide you. If you need help, she'll guide you. If my daughter's in danger, she'll guide you. If you need help, she'll guide you. But if you have to fall into place, another man, you're not gonna use my wife as a rape. This is why niggas was getting locked up. I'm telling you right now. Other niggas was using my wife as a rape mechanism that was causing Salem because they wanted her just to give up her magic. And other people was being deceitful about it. So the person that told you to do it like that is the person that caused the end of your reality. Now, a person says, if you don't want, it's just like, yo, you hanging out with your homeboy smoking weed while he roll up, and then next thing you know, he pass you the blunt, and then you go kiss a girl using your mother's energy, and then wondering why. Right? Now, some of my children used to do funny things because if a man is, you're in a relationship, you should know how to be charismatic for yourself. Because it's just like, listen to this. My wife is a real astrological empress. You wouldn't believe me or not, all right? Now, she has a real atmosphere that has a whole clock of network sequences. If you use the energy of, say somebody learned a form of metaphysics, a higher intellect of their consciousness, and how to have laws of attraction of the reality of the way they're charismatic. It's called charismatic self of getting the things you want, as you know, the physical lessons of life, of acknowledgement, and how to go about receiving or receptiveness when it comes to your situations or your habitation of your conduct of yourself in life. Now, if an individual learns these lessons in life and then learns the natural, say, a form of higher praise of themselves, some people believe when you're higher conscious because you're dealing with higher receptiveness, with your higher star chart of acknowledging the reason of the control of your habitation from the strength of your dignity throughout time. So now, if you have an individual in life, right, and then you're in a relationship, and then say you use a form, it is because some people are so charismatic that they could literally speak to somebody, and it's just it's so intellectual that is an instant receptiveness a certain type of way because the natural habitation may be so compatible a certain type of way, even in the physical reality, and certain things even going without even being said. Now, if a person uses that type of energy, because sometimes, you ever heard of a miracle? Like you may see something might happen a certain time in your life. It makes you think about getting even deeper with your characteristic because it's just like the energy of one's matter is just dealing with the force of one's reality because the magnitude of one's consciousness at a time. Some people may have gifts that they don't even know about in life sometimes. So now, if you have individuals in life who, how can I say this, uses the form G, their mentality, and concentrated on things that they want to achieve in their life, and say, for instance, a person guide form of thing when it comes to social conditioning to the natural vibrations of one's current condition, to the natural atmosphere, even of the current of the moon, of the natural light, even at dealing with one's higher receptiveness, and then you put that impression or that acknowledgement on a feminine quality, and then it's just like, if you don't want somebody, it's like being a teacher. If you don't want somebody manipulating you, you don't cause manipulation a certain type of way in the physical reality. Because, say for instance, you give somebody a drink and then it gets them drunk and you know it's going to get them drunk. Anything happens is going to be your fault. So if somebody does that to you, it's just like universal laws, natural karma, natural energy. Because once your emotions is into a vibrational current, the natural sequence is like somebody reflecting the way you love yourself. Oh, okay. It's just like somebody reflecting the way you love yourself a certain type of way, and an individual receiving the receptiveness of their gratitude or tribute or the homage of the things that they did for other individuals in time, even as a form of gentleman or gratitude when it came to the reality, and then somebody else tries to manipulate what they did in a physical reality, it hurts them at a time, but they got to think about the lessons, because you never know a person's intricacies of their intellect, the way they view somebody a certain type of way. So if they do something to see the type of characteristic of individual is because of their mentality, you don't want an individual feeling a certain type of way, and especially when one is conducting their happiness just to everybody to feel a happy vibration in the physical reality when it comes to natural conduct. Now, if you have somebody that, it's like, say, some people, the higher receptiveness is real, you could believe it or not. It is just something that you have to learn because it's dealing with the habitation, and then one has to be really highly educated to know how real situations is. Now, if you have, like my wife, the astrological empress, and then you go use her energy of an atmosphere on somebody to put a form of guidance to get something that you want. What did you say? You misuse that conduct a certain type of way. What's happening to you in the paradigm? Because if she was an atmosphere to the natural current and vibration of the intensity, what would happen to your natural conduct of yourself if you already abused your consciousness of your guidance of yourself, of what you wanted for your conduct? So you would have to be comfortable with whatever the receptiveness that you receive in the physical reality. So a person got to think about what they do for themselves. Sometimes it's good to have fun. Sometimes it's good to be humorous. Sometimes it's good to be amuseful. But one has to know the preciseness of one's habitation, of one's natural vibrations, of one's emotions. And that's just the reality. And you don't want to do it with an atmosphere that could be more, how can I say, a current reality continuously of one's physical reality. So be careful of the things that one does in the attributes of one's higher receptiveness, of one's natural conditions, of one's habitation or social economics or atmosphere, or the reasons of one's dignity. So one has to be smart because in a form of mythology is dealing with the guidance of one's receptiveness. If the empress is on you, what did you do to yourself ahead of time? It's just like light. If lights are on, you need to see further. You ain't gonna forget. You ain't gonna get drunk and forget. You're gonna remember, right? You ain't gonna get drunk and forget what you caused for yourself a certain type of way at a time, and then when you remember when things are happening, you're like, oh my God, this happened. So how about how did you guide yourself when you had the acknowledgement of the reason of tribute or honor or dignity in front of you when it came to the natural habitation of your social economic conduct? So how did you receptive your acknowledgement of yourself, and then on top of it, how about if it's a person that has a high acknowledgement of the reality of the current conduct? What are you doing? So if you try to slow down a person's receptiveness of the reason of your habitation, and then learn the intricacies of the reasons of the celestial and cellular activity, what are you gonna do if you find out life is more than what you even expected on a level? And you see how logical I make everything sound for a physical reality, for acknowledgement, just for individual to even have a form of humility to their dignity when they handle situations in physical reality. Now, how about if you abuse that and it causes the wrong type of outlook because of the wrong type of influence? Just like when I told you, dealing when I was a Kennedy. Well, I am Kennedy. Really tell you the truth. Was with Kennedy. Because you want to see the in-between, this foundation of what's if this is a maybe or is now you're listening to pronunciation because we're dealing with vibration. I'm going to give you lessons on how to conduct yourself in metaphor. Don't go past in the world of habitation. My children have sex in the physical reality. If they were in danger, there was guidance for that. But for the natural to not be humble, depending on the soul. It's like movie of one's anatomy or matter of the physical.